Welcome to Diaspora Digital Media. I am Lydia Ododa. It's DDM's update. The 2024 Senegalese presidential election was a significant event, marking a peaceful transition of power in the country. The election saw Bassirou Diomaye Faye of the Pastef party emerge victorious with 54.28% of the votes, defeating Amadou Ba of the APR party, who received 35.7%. The election was particularly important as it was conducted after incumbent President Macky Sall, who was ineligible for a third term, postponed the original election date, leading to a constitutional crisis that was resolved by the Senegalese Constitutional Council. Faye's victory is seen as a mandate for change, with expectations to address issues of corruption and economic sovereignty, as he was endorsed by the Pastef party founded by Ousmane Sonko, a notable opposition figure. The peaceful concession by Ba and the congratulations from Sall highlight the democratic nature of the electoral process in Senegal. Senegal's Constitutional Council has confirmed Bassirou Diomaye Faye as the president-elect, with the inauguration scheduled for April 2nd, 2024. His election marks a significant shift in Senegal's political landscape, as Faye, an ex-tax inspector and political newcomer, has pledged to tackle corruption and bring about a change from the current political system. The peaceful transition of power and the unanimous acceptance of the election result have been hailed by the African Union and international observers, reflecting the robustness of Senegal's democratic processes. The peaceful constitutional conduct of the election, especially after the resolution of the constitutional crisis regarding the election date, has reinforced the strength of democratic institutions in Senegal. This adherence to democratic principles by Senegal sets a positive precedent for the region and provides a counter-narrative to the trend of military takeovers. Moreover, the election's outcome and the subsequent smooth transition of power are likely to contribute to regional stability by demonstrating the viability of peaceful political processes. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, which has been advocating for democratic governance amidst the coup, views the successful election in Senegal as a critical victory for democracy. The election serves as a testament to the effectiveness of constitutional rule and could potentially inspire similar adherences to democratic norms in neighboring countries, thereby enhancing overall regional stability. Recent developments in the Nigerian Senate have seen a significant turn of events concerning Senator Abdul Ningi of Bauchi Central. Following allegations of a 3.7 trillion naira pardon in the 2024 budget, Senator Ningi faced a 3-month suspension. However, recent reports indicate that the Senate is poised to review this decision. What could be making the Senate reconsider a review of its sanction on Senator Ningi? It's not even a month yet. There's more to this movie premiere happening in the Senate. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has hinted the possibility of lifting Ningi's suspension, which was initially imposed due to claims of untraceable projects within the budget. This move comes amidst pressure and broader discussion on budget management and transparency within the legislative framework. The situation underscores the dynamic nature of political process and ongoing efforts to maintain accountability in governance. The decision to review Ningi's suspension comes amidst pressure from Senator Ningi, who has threatened to sue the Senate if he is not reinstated. The suspended senator conveyed this in a letter he sent to the Senate through his lawyer, Femi Falana-San. According to the letter, Ningi gave the Senate a 7-day ultimatum or face legal action. Mr. Ningi maintained that his suspension was illegal because the Nigerian parliament does not possess the power to suspend or expel a legislator and confiscate his salaries and allowances. The senator said he would not hesitate to report Mr. Akpabio to the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee if the Senate's leadership refused to lift his suspension within 7 days. This is an interesting twist of events. Senate President Godswill Akpabio confirmed this impending review while addressing reporters after his return from Interparliamentary Union meeting in Geneva, Switzerland. The Senate President said if Senator Ningi issues a public apology to the Senate, there seemed to be a tussle. The senators want an apology from Ningi for exposing them, whilst Ningi wants the Senate to reinstate him or face him in court. It's getting really interesting at this point. This situation remains closely watched, and the outcome will have implications for legislative transparency and governance in Nigeria. Recent reports indicate a significant incident in Kebbi State, where residents have looted a government warehouse and several private stores on the 30th of March 2024. Amidst the rising cost of living exacerbated by the removal of petrol subsidy and currency inflations, the people of Kebbi State, particularly in the Bayankara area of Birni Kebbi, have resorted to looting to obtain essential food supplies. This event is part of a larger pattern of similar incidents across the nation, reflecting the dire economic challenges faced by many. The state government has condemned the looting, emphasizing the loss of over 5 billion naira worth of grains intended for the public. Security measures have been heightened to prevent future occurrences, and efforts are underway to address the underlying economic issues. Nigeria's economy is currently grappling with a multitude of challenges that have led to its current state of hardship. The nation is experiencing its worst economic crisis in a generation, with annual inflation nearing 30%, the highest in nearly 3 decades. This inflation has significantly increased the cost of living, with staple foods like rice doubling in price, whilst wages remain the same. The removal of fuel subsidies has also contributed to the crisis, causing a ripple effect of rising costs across various sectors of transportation and energy costs soar. The economic downturn is further exacerbated by currency devaluation, leading to a decrease in purchasing power and an increase in the cost of imports. Nigeria's reliance on oil revenues had made it vulnerable to global market inflations, and the shift towards agriculture and away from manufacturing has lifted the country's economic diversification. The manufacturing sector's neglect has resulted in foreign exchange shortages, a limited number of jobs for a growing workforce, and an inability to meet the import bill with current export earnings. Moreover, the country faces infrastructural deficits, particularly in electricity and domestic economic integration, which hampers productivity and growth. The central bank's printing of money to cover government spending has also fueled inflation. In a recent development, Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president of Nigeria and a prominent figure in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has been actively calling for the formation of a coalition among opposition parties in Nigeria. His inspiration is coming from the political landscape of Senegal, where a coalition successfully led to a change in leadership. Atiku urges Nigerian opposition parties to unite against the ruling All People's Progressive Congress, APC, in preparation for the 2027 elections. This strategy is reminiscent of the 2015 elections in Nigeria, where a coalition of parties, including the Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, All Nigeria People's Party, ANPP, and Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, came together to unseat the then ruling PDP. Atiku's call for unity is seen as a move to replicate the success of past coalitions and to strengthen the democratic process in Nigeria by ensuring a competitive political environment. His statements have sparked discussion among political analysts and the public, highlighting the potential impact of a united opposition on the future of Nigeria's governance. These parties also differ in their organizational structures and electoral strategies. While some may have a more centralized leadership, others operate on a more democratic, grassroots level. Their modes of campaigning voters' engagement and coalition building vary, reflecting their distinct political cultures and histories. Understanding these differences is crucial for voters and the dynamics of political competition in Nigeria. This current crop of leaders top the charts of political leaders who bring in their words to share the spotlight with them. Recently, Nigerians reacted over Tinubu's son being on the list of delegates, globetrotting with the president on trips which are supposed to be official assignments designated for appointees and other staff. The heat has barely died down before a sitting senator's son got nominated as a commissioner. Mustafa Rabiu Kwankwaso is on his way to becoming a commissioner in Kano State. The governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, had on 26th of March 2024 submitted the senator's son's name for a spot in his cabinet. Could he be doing the bidding of his godfather? This move did not sit well with Kano State residents. Even APC chieftain Alhaji Al-Hassan Yariyasa did not welcome the idea. He calls it a clear-cut nepotism. According to Yariyasa, the Kano State governor won't be able to control Kwankwaso's son as a commissioner because of his father's influence on the governor. Governor Abba Yusuf had on Tuesday forwarded the name of Mustafa Rabiu Kwankwaso alongside 3 others to the State House of Assembly for screening and confirmation as commissioners. Yusuf is a political godson of Kwankwaso, who is the national leader of the New Nigeria People's Party, on whose platform the Kano State governor won election last year. Yariyasa, who is a former coordinator of the Tinubu campaign organization for Kano South, in a telephone interview with The Punch on 31st of March said, "The nomination of Mustafa Kwankwaso is nothing but a clear-cut demonstration of nepotism by the governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. This is not the first time he is demonstrating nepotism because he gave an appointment to one of his relatives before now. Even though Senator Kwankwaso is his mentor, he should not be selfish. This is nothing but selfishness of the highest order. Will this nomination be cancelled? Will the governor go ahead with the appointment? Well, we'll watch and see." That's it on DDM's updates. I am Lydia saying thank you very much for staying with us.